Hi everybody, Debbie Dubois here again for another video, and it's October. I actually wanted to do this a couple of days ago, but things got really crazy, and I've had such amazing things happen to me since the September 23rd energies came in. It's been incredible. So, but I was sitting here and I was thinking, it's October. It's time to do I guess you'd say it's an energy reading for October for those of us that are on the sacred heart path, the twin flame path, the love path of ascension. And I always talk about that love path of ascension, twin flame path, is really being an awakening path. And it is something that gives us a great deal of motivation to shift. A lot of motivation to change and shift, because when someone really matters to you, you're willing to do a lot more to shift than if someone doesn't really matter. So that is one of the biggest, I don't know if you want to say it's the dynamic of that catalyst relationship, whether it be a twin flame or someone that comes into your life just to open up your heart chakra and give you a spiritual awakening. This reading that I'm going to do is really going to be for all of those, because what I'm beginning to see is that a lot of this is blending into each other. And I think that's because I do believe that, the twin flames originally came here to shift the consciousness of the planet in general and to break a lot of templates. And I think a lot of those templates are really starting to break wide open. And as they do, I've talked about this before, the energies, they become available for everyone. And they're new patterns. I want to say that they're patterns of perfection. Patricia Cota Robles used to talk about that, probably still does, about patterns of imperfection that we used to have, and that we were learning to create differently, which means we would create patterns of perfection, patterns that were helpful in creation instead of miscreating. So, I think that that's what a lot of this is about. And when those energies shifted on the 23rd, I can just tell you this. I was so expanded, I could not bring myself into focus at all. It was a very interesting experience because I basically went outside and I was laying on my favorite lounge chair, and I was so expanded. I had some really interesting inspirations when I woke up in the morning, and I was feeling so extremely clear, and I knew so much about what was happening in my world and why it was happening, and I felt this expansion of my soul, and I could not for the life of me focus in on anything. What was really funny is, of course, I was launching a huge website, right? And my partner he's texting me and he's saying, can you check this code and that code? And I'm like, not right now. I cannot bring my mind in. Okay, well, fine. I'll just do it. So, and I just couldn't get my mind around it. Well, so I decided to just allow myself that expansion. The expansion of what I felt like is all I wanted to do was go into that absolute 0 point energy and stay there. I didn't want to think. I didn't want to analyze. I didn't want to figure out problems. And we were having several problems with this big website that we were trying to launch. So I felt a little bit bad because I was kind of abandoning my partner at this point. But I'm like, you know what? I can't do anything about it. So I just allowed myself to be in that space. Well, a little while later, I really felt called I had to at least try to be of some value or assistance. What I did was I stayed out of my head in solving stuff. And I just relaxed myself and just allowed whatever inspirations came to me at that particular time. And as I started interacting, and a lot of times we'll be texting while we're doing this kind of stuff, and it was one of those days where we were texting to each other instead of talking. And, it was kind of like I would just say, did you check this line of code? Oh my God, I found that. And I'd be like, hey, go over here to this piece. Did you check that? Is that it? Oh my gosh, yeah. So what ended up happening is that out of my heart center, instead of my brain, I had a bunch of information being delivered to me. In other words, I was like saying, oh my God, I got a new way to think. I can think with my heart. I can move something forward that's very cerebral. And I've had several instances where I've been really able to tap into that incredible expansive energy over the last couple of weeks. Well, and it just got more intense after the 23rd, but yeah, I found myself solving some really big like technical stuff, and I'm not, it's funny because even as a web designer, I'm not super like, I say I'm not super technical, and my partner's always saying, stop saying that because you are. But it's not my thing. I don't like to just sit and look at lines of code. But when I see something, it's just, it's inspiration, and that's when I feel really connected. And I guess, you know, the reason why I'm rambling on about all of this is because this is what's happening now. And this is some of what is coming for the month of October, is we have new stuff available to us. We have new energies available. I know Kalina did something, she was, you know, doing something with toning. And if you haven't seen that video, it's a really good thing. You're actually able to direct this energy in different ways. Now, that is one way to direct energy. Other ways to direct energy are simply to embrace whatever situation you're in and let your heart solve the problem. So this new energy has really opened up for us. And so I guess what I wanted to do is I wanted to find out, what do the cards say is going on for this month? And let's see if it aligns with you know, what I'm beginning to feel. I feel we've had a significant change and shift. And this is going to affect all of your relationships. It's going to affect your significant heart connection, twin flame, sacred partner, divine counterpart, whatever you want to term it. It's going to affect that. But it's going to affect a lot more than that. And that's what's really exciting, because if you're in any position where you're not like in union, in a sacred union relationship with someone where, you know, you're together and, you know, and of course, if you are together, I'm sure you're having some things to work through. But if you're not in one of those positions where you're with that person and you're in a committed relationship to each other, and I've known a lot of twins that have actually started getting married, and it's very inspiring to see. You know, me personally, I don't know that I would ever go into that situation the same. I think that there would be some kind of sacred ceremony or something. But anyways, there are a lot of people coming into physical union. But for those that aren't, there's still huge progress being made on all fronts. And the most important front is the one that you're responsible for. It's the part that you tune into and you become your highest you that you can be. Because tell you what, really seriously, when you start doing that, these doors start magically opening. These connections start happening. The abundance. I can't tell you, it was so amazing this past week how many checks rolled in. I mean, from my web design business. And I mean, I just sat there with this, I had these checks laid out on my desk and I was taking snapshots. I was like, abundance, abundance. So there's a lot of these energies available for you. There's a lot of energies that will support you in all that you're trying to do right now. And I know that a lot of the divine feminine seem very, very focused on what it is they're trying to accomplish and do. And the divine masculine is actually starting to shift more and start putting some of the stuff in place that I had talked about, you know, the relationship, the mother energies, the breaking of those templates, and the realization that you know, there has to be more. I've just seen some incredible opening up in the divine masculine around me in terms of where they're going from here. So let's see what these cards say. And I'm just going to remind you that I do what I consider It's like a divine feminine triangle. It's the upside down triangle with the 3 cards atop and 2 and then 1. And I like it's because it's a very simple reading. And I usually get a lot of good, I like to think of this as permission slips for information that I have to come through. So I'm going to stop now, and I am using the Ascended Master deck. I believe it's Doreen Virtue. Yes, it is. Doreen, I know that you're really committed to the Lord now, but I thank you for these tools that you've given. I absolutely still adore your tarot cards, so especially this deck. All right, so the first card is You Can Do It. All right, that's Archangel Michael. The second card that we have is Healing Energy. All right. Oh, the third card is the Power of Joy. We'll go into each of these cards more. Then we've got, oh, I love this card. Take care. Let's take charge of the situation. It's Moses. All right. Also another one of my favorite cards. Gosh, I love these cards because they get me so excited. They get me so tuned in. And, Esther Hicks, she'd always say, tuned in, tapped on, tuned in, tapped on. I don't remember what she said, but I feel that way. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We've got some really good cards. All right. So when I look at these cards, they basically all are along the lines of what exactly I was saying about the expansion that we are experiencing and what it does for us. Okay. So the first thing is that in this thing of expansion, you can do it. All right, I love this card. It's a strength card, and I'm going to try to, I think the last video I did, I covered up my face half the time. So anyways, there it is. You can do it, and it's Archangel Michael. But in all of the stuff that's before you, I really have noticed a change in energy that I'm getting a lot more of that energy personally, which is I can do this. I can do this. If I don't like something, I can change it. I can make it happen the way I want it to happen, and that there's not really going to be a lot that's stopping me. Now, at that, and it's funny because the cards, right down from underneath that actually, in catty corner to it, is take charge of the situation. All right. I woke up pretty sure, like the 23rd, that there were some changes that I was going to make. There were some definite changes that I was going to make in the way forward. Number one, I knew that this calling that I have to contribute to relationships, to do some more therapy, to become more involved in actually helping people apply this stuff, because one of the things that I've been told is that I really can apply stuff so very easily. My mom told me that was one of the things that it never ceased to amaze her. And my business partner says the same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, you apply stuff so quickly. I mean, I learned something and bam, I apply it. Well, I woke up in the morning knowing I got to make some changes. I got to do some things differently. I need to do something with my web design business. I need to shift it. I need to change it. I had some very clear direction as to what I did want to do, what I didn't want to do. And so here we are, we're with these cards. You can do it and take charge of the situation. And they're actually all joined together. So you've got the you can do it, the take charge of the situation, and right below that, focus on your strengths. All right, so we're talking about divine expression here. We're talking about creative expression. We're talking about why you came. And a lot of you that are in this sacred path right now, especially I want to say the divine feminine, but you know what? It's not even limited to the divine feminine. I'm getting very strongly. This is a new energy of the divine feminine masculine balance that's coming in, that's basically saying creative expression. It is time. You're starting to get some footing in terms of your own center and your own strength. And we'll talk about that a little bit more with the other cards. But as you get into those strengths and you get into understanding that all of this is perfectly lined up, and you start to realize that You came here to do something and you really start getting fired up about what it is. And in actuality, that's like the best thing that could happen for a union situation, because while you're sitting there focused on a union and focused on another person, we've talked about this before, about how important it is to continue to remain in your own heart center, to keep your focus right where it is, right here in your own creation, what you're creating. You know, I want to say that that is not, I want to repeat this, not narcissistic. And I think that some of the struggles that some of us have had, I know especially with someone like me that was just, I'm just such a giver, I give and I give. You know, I think that some of the things that some of us struggle with is to be focused on self. We're kind of taught that that is narcissistic, or we're thinking of ourselves, but no. What we're doing right now is we are beginning to focus on our strengths. We're beginning to focus on what it is we love to do and what we're good at doing, and what excites us, what gets us up in the morning. When we're doing this, we're not sitting there worrying about, what's that other person doing? What are they doing? Why am I not hearing from them? What are they doing? All of those questions that I think a lot of people ask. Or, you know, why are they not with me? Why don't they want to be with me right now? Or if they are with you, why won't they get away from you? Whatever it is. When you're focusing on your strengths and you're focusing on what you're here to do, you're focused in the moment of now. You're not focused in the past. You're not focused in the future. You're focused right here on what you're good at. And when you start focusing on your strengths and what it is that you do really well, you feel better about yourself. When you feel better about yourself, you're more in your own power. And when you're in your own power, you're in your truth. And you stand in your power and you say what you feel, and you don't have to hide who you are. So that is a little bit, that's the left side of the triangle. You can do it, take charge of the situation and focus upon your strength. Now, I want to come from the other side, the right-hand top side of the pyramid. All right? This is where we're going. The power of joy. Joy is when you feel like giggling. Joy is when no matter what happens, you start to say, oh my God, it's good, it's good, it's really good. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's good, even when it doesn't seem good. But you know, oh, it's all lined up. It's all lined up. So we're sitting here with the power of joy. And right below it, I should say, let it go. Let it go is part and parcel to power of joy. You cannot be in joy if you don't let it go. So what do we mean by let it go? We've talked about let it go many times, but let it go in all different kinds of ways. Number one, let yourself go and get out of your own way. So let go of the steering wheel. Let it go. If you've got things that come up that really upset you, really push your buttons, let it go. If you feel like, you know, you're having a really, really bad day, you know, let it go. Find something else to think about. Find something else to do. That's a little bit harder to do. When you're having a really hard day, let it go. But guess what goes hand in hand with that? And that's at the bottom of the pyramid, or at the bottom of that triangle. Focus upon your strengths. So if you're having a hard time letting it go, what do you love to do? Focus on your strengths. I love to write. I've been doing a lot of automatic writing. I just sit down and I'm like, okay, let me go see what are some of these questions that are going on. I just put out an article today. I put out an article. Someone had texted me and actually messaged me through True Sacred Union and had a question for me. And I said, I'll answer you. I'll answer you as soon as I could, as soon as I can. Well, I sat down and I just said, okay, source, tell me what is the answer to this? And then I started getting all this information and started getting information about, well, this is a bigger question. And it's a question that can be asked from a bunch of different ways. But what's the existential question? What is the real question? And I was able to rephrase it. And then I was able to address it. And I was able to address it in a way that was for everybody. It wasn't even just for twins. It wasn't even just for, it's for everybody. But it's extremely helpful in Sacred Heart connections. There it was. So focus on your strengths. So what this is what you're aiming for. You want to be in this power of joy. Okay, directly below that is, in order to do that, let it go. Whatever is standing in your way from joy. And if you can't let it go, how do you let things go? You focus on your strengths. So, all right, at the top of the pyramid, the upside down triangle, like this, healing energy. This is what's coming in right now. And if you could see the funnel, here you've got your cards here, and you've got your cards here, and this is right up in the top. It's in the middle. Healing energies are coming in right now. They're soothing your soul. I'm very excited about this because, you know, I see people around me struggling. I know people are struggling. And I don't mean to make light of that. I have had people reach out to me and say, I'm really having a hard time. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, these energies are streaming in right now and they're shifting you. And this is making it very, very difficult for you to stay in that space. It's getting uncomfortable. It's rubbing. It's like an oyster. You have to, it's that grain of sand. It is trying to get you to burst out of that little shell and become the pearl that you are. This is the healing energies that are coming in for that. So, really exciting stuff. So, I'm going to pull an outcome card and let's just see what comes up. It's so funny. All right, I'm going to say this. Crystals, all right? I don't know if this is really an outcome card, but I can say, I might end up pulling another card. What this goes with is healing energies. I've got to tell you, and I have one close by. I went to the crystal store. I'm becoming a crystal addict, and not a crystal meth addict or anything like that. Just in case, let's be clear. I'm a crystal addict, and it's because as these energies come in, I am finding that I'm able to harness the energies of these crystals. Different crystals are pulling at me at different times. I've got to introduce you to my most recent crystal. This is called Sodalite. And I just got done. I was working on what I would consider an article about mind chatter. Okay, how to keep our minds quiet, how to stop. You know, this is like, I couldn't believe it. I was in the crystal store. I went with a dear friend of mine to Phoenix and Dragon in Atlanta. I love the store. You walk in and the energy is just amazing. Go to a crystal store, go to a new age bookstore or something. Get in that energy. It's amazing. It's like taking a bath in it. Well, anyways, so I go in and I'm looking and I'm like, I'm trying to help a friend pick out a crystal and everything. And I saw a couple of these and they weren't spheres. There were some that were like tall, obelisks, I guess you could say. They're like more like wands. And I asked a couple questions and they basically were like, well, you can direct this energy. This is all about the intellect of the mind being calmed, being stilled. It's very much for meditation. Sodalite, you might want to look it up. It's an amazing crystal. But anyways, I knew immediately. I said sphere. I said, and they said this is more for meditation. I said, exactly. So I got this because I'm using it literally to help me bring in, it helps you bring information in through your third eye and in your, you know, everything that you've got going on in your senses, and helps you crystallize it in material. And I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed. So crystals and healing energy. With the healing energies that are coming in, I highly recommend get familiar with your crystal tools. We are in the era of the crystals. I mean, we're talking about Atlantis, people. We're talking about a return of those energies, of the technologies that go along with it. I don't go, where's my other? I can't seem to find it, but I have a smoky quartz. It's here. It's very close. There it is. My smoky quartz. I don't leave home without it. And I cleanse it all the time. I basically, you know, soak it now in salt water. I learned how to do this now. See, it's a brand new thing for me. But I love holding it in my hands. It's wonderful for grounding getting negative energies out of your way. So it's interesting that I'm not counting this as our outcome card because this crystal card literally goes with the healing energy, so I'm going to place that right up there with it. And let's just pull one more card and see what comes out. Persistence. Keep going. This is the outcome card, because persistence is literally what needs to happen for you right now. You need to stay in a I'm not going to give up state. The sun, the persistence. Blue is the sun, the persistence of the sun, the rays of the sun coming down. And this covers everything. Persist that you can do it. You can do it. You can take charge of the situation. Persist in that. Stay in control. And you know, when I say stay in control, you stay in control by letting go of your attachments to outcomes. Let go of them. You have a sense of what you're here to do. You get excited about it. You start focusing on it. You let go. And in a sense, when you let go and you concentrate on your strengths, it's when it all starts to flow. But there's going to be rough patches. There's always rough patches in these expansion processes. And when you come across one, be persistent. I feel like one of the reasons why I came is to remind you you can do this. And I almost get choked up when I say that, because it is why I'm here. And it is almost always why I have clients. That's why I'm here. I'm here to let everybody know not to give up, to give you tools how to apply what you're learning, what you know, so that you can persist and keep going. Because guess what? This is where you're going. You are. I cannot tell you how amazing things have been and how amazing things are moving into this place when you do the work and you come out on the other side. Sure, I have my moments. I have a 20-year-old and I have a 13-year-old, which is sometimes even scarier. But anyways, seriously, you know, but the power of joy is where you're going, and it's going to be there in your sacred relationships. They literally blossom out of your focus on where you need to be. Right now, we got all this healing energy coming in. You're really starting to uncover what it is you're here to do. Focus on it. Do it in joy. And tune into your heart and find out, what are you doing that you really don't want to be doing? What is it that you don't want to do? Maybe it's you don't want to be in that connection right now because you'd rather be doing something else to focus on your time. Maybe it's you'd rather really focus on that connection that you have, that you've been kind of off here doing other things, and you know, maybe that's, but the thing is that go into your heart and find out what it is you want to do. What do you want to create? We are at the precipice. We are so ready to create some amazing things. I mean, I'm going to address something. There are some horrible things happening in the world, and I am not going to deny what is happening. We have situations that are happening. I'm not giving them my focus and attention, and I'm not going to speak of them. I know you know probably what I'm talking about. We have things happening in this world. Things that are all happening to shift the world. So therefore, it's all happening exactly the way it's supposed to, no matter how devastating and no matter how harmful it is. All right? It's all illusion. Now, I say illusion in a very loving and kind and respectful way. We're in a matrix, and it's an extremely real experience to be here. We're in a hologram. And we ask to be here at this time. I ask you, please, focus your attention on all the good that's happening within any of those situations that you experience. I'm thinking very specifically of someone that has family that's been affected by the major storms, and has seen the devastation of her homeland. All right? There is nothing to really explain why that stuff happens, but there has to be a shift in the world. People have to start stepping up and being the change that they want to see. Watch it happen. Watch that happen. Don't watch all the other horrible stories about this and this and this. Look for that which is happening, that is raising the boat of the planet within the context. See the people reaching out, see truths coming out, see organizations being exposed and other organizations coming in and stepping in to help. There's so many things that are shifting and changing right now for the better. I just implore you, please, in the things that are happening, send your love and light. Send this energy to the situation. You can make a huge difference by doing that. And then you're actually able to bring the power of joy to the masses. Because anything that you don't extend from your heart outward of the love and the joy that you start to create, the world really misses out. It really needs your energy right now. It really needs your focus on the higher vibrations. And that is within the context of your amazing connections. That's in the context of, hey, when you have things going on that aren't so wonderful in your connection, guess what? Generate that love in your heart that you feel. Send it outward. Send it out to those people in need. Send it out to the others. So anyways, well, that is my reading for October's energies. Thank you so much for joining me. I really am enjoying doing these. I think I'm going to do them once a month. I'm enjoying doing that, and I've got articles coming. I've definitely got articles coming. I can't stop writing. So, and I'm like, well, should I write a book? And it's like, no, it's like books. Your whole life is a story. You could write a whole story. You can keep writing books. You can keep writing books. But I want to write pieces that really impact you, that help you apply all of the stuff so that you can literally get to the other side of this and get to a place where you can do what you came here to do. And to do it in joy, and to see the world start transforming even more for you. But anyways, thank you so much for being with me. And I look forward to the next time I get to do a video. Have a great day. Bye.